Hey, gang. I am so done with Instagram. Almost live. I might be live. I don't know. I don't know. I'm on my profile now. I don't see it. I don't want the AI stuff. I don't want anything from Instagram, really. I'm really done with Meta. Facebook. Yeah, it's not here. There's no way. Oh, after putting all this stuff together, today we're going to talk about Bidenomics and Gen Z. And I just got to go through them things. I'm going to try to get back on, but there's no reason why, if your Facebook uh, pages and profiles can't go live right away, why can't we do that, Meta? Why can't we do that on Instagram too? Well, try this. Streaming. Everything else is streaming just fine. And I always have to wait for this next screen on Instagram to catch up. And by that time, I'm ready to go. I don't have time to sit here and wait for this. And now it's not doing it. I can't hit the go live button because it has not caught up. Yeah, I don't need it. I think we're going to put something else in Instagram's place. And I'll just text people a link. I think that's why I just realized that's why so many people, when they send a message, it says link in profile. It's because Instagram or any of them don't like you including a link to send them to another platform besides their own. That's what that's about. That's why that makes perfect sense. Uh, so today, Gen Z, and I pick on Gen Z today for very specific reasons. I don't even know. I got an overlay over top of me again. I did that yesterday. And I didn't start the virtual camera. Wow. I've so here's my story. I've been boom, there we go. I've been on the phone for the past half an hour. Well, now 20 minutes ago, I got off the phone with my son. I love him. He's a great kid. And he's like any kid. Some of us are almost 53 years old. A bunch of great ideas. But what I've learned in my 53 years is to put a plan in place that will better help you bring those great ideas to fruition. For example, a year and a half ago, he suckered me into letting him get a car with dad's co-signature. Something I knew was probably going to have to happen. Not too terribly, not too terribly upset about that. Then he starts doing all kinds of upgrades to the car, and It's not exactly what he bought anymore. Let's say that. That's fair. And so now he wants to trade it in. And his knowledge of Bidenomics, to use a buzz term, and really economics and car buying in general, is, we'll say, minimal based on the conversation I just had. He thinks this is just going to be a trade and go. So we got that. Also got Pierre's Pot. That's today. That's every day. And yeah, I don't have. Let's go to the bottom part. Pick something down here. Here's one for. Yeah. Oh, I love this. But first, to continue with the introduction today, morning motivation. And there's no better motivator than the underdog Southpaw himself. The movie that I'm going to quote that hopefully brings us all up today is about essentially, sort of, the guy who wrote the movie. This guy who you see from behind, if you're not recognizing that yet, um, this guy was a new in the early '70s. Was a brand new movie producer, actor, writer, screenwriter, playwright, all of that. I'm just seeing Zach's text message from an hour ago. New guy, and that's probably had a lot to do with the situation he put himself in. But he has this story, and he wants to get it funded to make into a movie. That's what you do with a screenplay. That's what an executive producer does: is finds the money to the backing to make the movie. And some of these guys get so successful with that, they do their own movies, as this guy has been doing on and off. Nobody has the confidence in this guy's movie making ability. They think his story is stupid. It's about some boxer that works at a butcher shop as a boxer, but wants to get more professional and into professional boxing. And it's his story about how he meets a girl. She's his inspiration. He's got a great trainer who's also that old sage and wise guy. I don't mean like mafia wise guy. I mean like somebody who's got wisdom. And I think by now you know that I'm talking about the story of Rocky. But what many of you may not know was what I've just been telling you about Sylvester Stallone, the star of the movie, also a risk. The executive producer, I think he may have directed it or had somebody else directed for him, whatever. But he writes this, does amazing at the box office. So now he's a millionaire. Forget about everything else. And he wins an Oscar. What kind of an FU to all those people who said no is this? And every time he asked somebody for help and they said no, he went on to somebody else and they said no. Meanwhile, he's doing things behind the scenes to get this moved forward. It's not about how hard you can get hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. This past month, actually about a month ago, late September, my community got hit not once, but twice by two major ass hurricanes. And we are moving forward. Last night, some heavy machinery and some trucks came through, took most of the debris. Some of us are still removing debris. My neighbor is ready to start remodeling. I got two neighbors ready to start remodeling. I didn't want to remove a lot of the debris, creative debris with like the inside of the house until the adjuster saw it. That's been a week ago. I've been removing some, been cleaning up other areas, but keep in mind it's also just me. Just like it was just Sly Stallone putting together this movie. So I'm going to keep getting hit because what I want to do with this house is not going to be just like that and done. It's going to be hurdles. It's going to be people telling me no. It's going to be obstacles. It's going to be getting hit. But I'm not just going to stand there and take it. I'm going to continue to move forward. And eventually, this is going to be finished. Today, I'm going to send my plans, which are pretty, but when it comes to an architect or structural engineer or anybody that's used to plans, we're pretty cocktail napkin at best. And in fact, because my tape measure broke, I can't even put all the information that my brother needs on these diagrams. And that would be you can see one over there. That would be I got to get out of this so I can see where my camera's at when I come back here. That would be windows, doorways, archways of the outside wall. Why is that important? Well, that's a weakness. That window is a weaker spot up top than the solid wall that's to the right and to the left. So he needs to know where those windows, doorways, garage doorways. I've got 4 archways out front that's on that wall. I've got 2 front walls, actually. And the upper floors that we're going to create are going to go out to and over that frontmost wall because it's more floor space above. Hello. But he's going to tell me, my brother is going to tell me that my insurance money isn't going to be enough to build all this. I know that. But when my parents sold their house in Cobrookdale Township, Pennsylvania, right outside Boyertown, in effort to build the log cabin, my dad's first construction project in his own company, we didn't build the whole thing, move in from the one house to the other. It was a process. And not only was it a process, we didn't live in either of the houses for the longest time. We moved into a basement. I'm in a garage. Not much of a difference. I'll tell you, no, there's a huge difference. Up there, the ceiling. The basement was about maybe 5.5 feet. And because my grandfather was a little guy, he didn't really care. I, on the other hand, in junior high, was already almost 6 feet tall. It got to a point where I walked around the basement with my hockey helmet because I was banging my head on rafters, on metal ductwork. And back then, ductwork wasn't this big, squishy hose. It was metal ductwork. Like the movie Die Hard, and Bruce McClane, Bruce Willis, is crawling through that one ductwork and come to the coast, it'll be great. You know, he's got that lighter. That's what was in my grandfather's basement. The owner of the building, actually the former owner of the building, he already passed away. My dad was the owner of the building. And because he was the owner, that's what legally allowed us to be in a basement, not an actual living space. So I've lived in a basement. while building my parents' current house. We're in the current house, a couple of years into it, and like a couple of years into this, a major catastrophe happens. The house catches fire. So, for a time of cleaning up and restoration, we're in a trailer, like so many of my neighbors are. Then, once we were out of the trailer and back in the house really wasn't finished yet. So, now I'm living in an unfinished house, like what's right next door. I know that this ain't going to be whatever amount of money. I'm not going to say what the amount I'm supposedly going to get or suspect that I'm going to get is going to be. But I know that I'm going to get hit. My son, in the process of refinancing his car, is going to get hit. I gave him bad news today that we both know his car is what's called upside down, meaning that he owes more money than what he can get for the car. So the thing is, he's just going to walk into a car dealer, trade in this now, let's call it what it is. It's a piece of junk. It's got almost or over 100,000 miles on it. He's done some things that are upgrades that a dealer is not going to consider to be upgrades. And that's the emotion versus the upgrades that are in the car. He said it himself. It's his first car, Keisha. He didn't want to get rid of Keisha. I wonder how Kaylee feels about Keisha. Anyway, to be 19, almost 20 again. So my son's going to get hit too. I'm going to help him move forward. Hopefully, with me not co-signing this time. All right, 11:20, 99.1 WDJY, the rest of the Mastiff Media Network. That's our sermon for today. Hopefully, when you get hit, you too will continue moving forward. And is there any talk? Yes. Oh, she's worried about the volume. Yes, Yvette, there is talk. Welcome. You're sharp enough, hon. You're sharp enough. I can tell you're talking about, can I hear you? What should I do? Your ancient baby boomer sister. Well, she looks like now she's got everything figured out. And hopefully it's on Facebook. Yeah, somebody's joining on Facebook. Hopefully that's still her. We got shout out to everybody on YouTube, Talk TV 24, and up the middle. What's that? Well, Twitch, D Live, a couple Facebooks and Twitter. Also available at yurgsradio.com. And of course, every day we're live for at least this first hour on days that we have 2 hours, like Friday. 99.1 WDJY. You can get that station at WDJYFM.com. Friday, we'll be live on the Tan Talk Network as well, as we are every Friday now. WTAN and WDCF. That's for the first hour. For the second hour, we switch over to WWPR in Bradenton. And next Friday, unless I hit the lottery between now and then, we add KSHP, Las Vegas. So we got Atlanta, Vegas, Florida, which is kind of sort of, not really. 3 swing or swing-ish states that you can hear every day, us on the Mastiff Media Network. So it's not about how hard you can get hit, like I have financially the past couple of weeks. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. I think we know that Yvette had to turn the volume up. We can take that down. All right. I got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to go into what? Pierre's Pot and Bidenomics and Gen Z. We'll talk more about my kid and about how Pop-Up Yerger, my dad, is going to get a hold of him, talk some sense into him. And maybe he's going to trade the car in. I hope he does. But I'm not co-signing for a second loan until we pay off the first one. Just not happening. I can't help him with the first one anymore. All right. 99.1 WDJY and the rest of the Mastiff Media Network. We will be back after this. Hey, gang. Does your house smell nasty? Do you want to freshen it up a little bit? Go to aromabypeter.com. Check out all of Peter's candles. It's what we burn here in Studio Yergs. I'm burning right now leather-scented candle. That's right, leather-scented. So go to aromabypeter.com/Yergs and check out his candles today.
I'm Jane Stahl, retired English teacher, and with my BFF, Susan Bebeck, we manage Studio B Fine Art Gallery in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. We showcase the art of hundreds of local artists, publish books of the poetry, prose, and art of local writers, offer classes, art parties, workshops, discussion groups, cater dinners. We've even hosted a wedding. And we're here to be the go-to place for friendship, learning, and fun in our community. Virtual tours of our exhibits are available right here on Yergs Radio. Let us introduce you to some amazing art and artists.
Check out Jane Stahl and everyone at Studio B in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. Please visit our YouTube channel, Talk TV 24. How's your website doing? I'll tell you how mine's doing. It's awesome. Yergs.com is got to be the best website for anybody in podcasting or any sort of broadcast solo journalist like me. How did I get that? Limit Break Digital. Limit Break Digital did my website with Yergs.com. They did YergerGroup.com. They take care of my marketing, my branding, and help me get the message out to you. Go to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs for 10% off your next project. That's a $3,000 site, Yergs.com. And you can get 10% off that by just going to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs today. Talk to Jay. That's my guy. We all got a guy, and Jay's mine. limitbreakdigital.com. Hey, gang, it's Yergs. Right now, our country is about to embark on yet another controversial presidential election. I have an actual question, legitimate question, as a political scientist and historian by education. If you are a Trump supporter, I want to hear from you. I want to know what your appeal to Donald Trump is at this time. Please email me news, N-E-W-Z, at yergs.com. News, N-E-W-Z, at YERGZ.com. Thanks. Participants must be willing to provide their contact information, answer a series of questions, and then have their first name broadcast over the radio and social media. Momentum Fitness, formerly Monster Mouse, Bayonet Point, Jasmine Estates, now Momentum Fitness and Wellness. Check out what they've got at momentumfitnessandwellness.com. Also, get ready. They're starting a podcast. Anthony, the owner, and his brother, every Wednesday. That's today, isn't it? What's today? I don't even know what today. Yeah, sometime today. I got to call him when I'm done with this now. Um, yeah, podcast about fitness, diet, supplementation, intelligently done, well researched. I just saw him school somebody on Facebook today. So yeah, Momentum Wellness and Fitness has new equipment, upgraded equipment, fixed equipment, expanded space. They rent in a shopping center, but they bought the contract for the lease or took over a lease of the building next door, the store that was next door to them, a pet store of sorts. Now they're in there. Dunk tank, that cool water thing that's the big thing now. Sauna was always my thing. I loved heat therapy. That, so much more. Momentum, Fitness and Wellness. US 19, Jasmine Estates, Bayonet Point, Hudson. Hey, I did it before the end of the music this time. I do more than 60 seconds when I do my live commercials. That's kind of a thing. You don't really pay for that, but you get it. Well, one of the first times I did that commercial, and it's just me like rambling. There's no script. I know what I got to say. If it's a new one, I'll have talking points. But yeah, I don't just read something. Yeah, that's a pre-done, like you heard before I did the live commercial. And we'll do that for Momentum as well. But I got to going one of the first times. It was like 2.5 minutes, almost 3 minutes. I ran out of music. So, oops. Hey, I own this stuff, so it's my thing. Pierre's Pot for today. Shout out. I'm actually going to do one from yesterday that I realize I don't think I finished or actually even did. As you know, my neighborhood and so many neighborhoods near here got hit by hurricanes Helene and Milton. We got hit predominantly from the storm surge caused by Hurricane Helene. But I and some neighbors also have some damages from Hurricane Milton, which went to the south of us. And that's predominantly wind damage. Because I've got it right inside that door behind me, over on that side, over by that refrigerator that just went behind on the other side of that refrigerator is a door. For those of you on the video, for those of you on radio, I'm in my garage. Right outside the garage is my refrigerator and living room, or excuse me, my kitchen and my living room that I can't use. And like so many of my neighbors, we can't use our kitchen. We can't use most of our house. Some people are not living in the garage or living in a trailer. Yet in the parking lot at our civic association is a bunch of tents and trailers, one of which is a trailer full of showers, a men's side and a women's side, that if you can't use your own bathroom, you can get a hot shower. There's another one that is bathrooms, that you can use a bathroom. And a third one that's a laundromat, wash machines. But then there's also these tents, one of which is air conditioned. It's an air conditioned 24/7 tent, air conditioning. Feels great inside there. Just in case you're working and your whole house, like mine, does not have air conditioning. Although I do actually have my mini splits, which is a second air conditioning system that I put in. So glad I did that. They're working, and I'm using them to dehumidify the house. The one drain for the system looks like an open spigot out back. It's funny. That's how much water it's pulling out of the air and out of the walls and killing mold or preventing mold, helping to prevent mold as a result. A lot of people don't have that. So there's a tent where you can go sit in air conditioning. And the last tent is an eating area at which are some of my neighbors. I didn't really know were neighbors, but I kind of figured they lived somewhere close, and they do. And I thought because they are there every day feeding us 3 meals a day, that it was some food truck company getting free advertising. Well, not free because they're donating food every day. Some sort of breakfast. It's not usually hot, but I mean, they don't really have time to do everything. A lunch, barbecue lunch, which is amazing, and dinner. They're just neighbors. Santonio, not San, but San Tonio. Susan, her husband, I think Jason. Christine, Christine from Brooklyn. Melissa, our association's vice president. Daryl, our association's president. Uh, um, I'm brain farting on Jack, but our county commissioner, Jack Mariano. There we go. A bunch of these folks have been there volunteering time, volunteering money, donating money, collecting funds from others who have put forward into this. I can't wait to get some money from FEMA or from my insurance company or from a damn lottery ticket or pension so I can give back to them for what they've done to keep me with something in my stomach. It's been pretty good. So Pierre's Pot, after Pierre Robert of 93.3 WMMR in Philadelphia, somebody I've just grown up listening to and have been inspired by, has been at MMR for more than 40 years. And he does this thing where he does a toast of the morning sauce in your direction, good citizen. And these good citizens are everybody I just mentioned. Thank you for feeding us. Thank you for doing what you do. Well done. Beyond well done. I'm going to take that sip now. Okay. Bidenomics. In our last 25 minutes. Hopefully. Oh, I got to put this up too. You can get in on this conversation. You don't have to listen to it. I mean, it kind of helps if you listen to it. But give us a call at 1-888-88-YERGS. 1-888-88 YERGZ. There's letters with the numbers on your keypad. Figure it out. Call now. Talk to us. Tell me what you think about this situation. If maybe I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Call up and just tell me I'm wrong. Even if I'm right, tell me I'm wrong. You get to have some fun too. And I first saw this on social media. Be careful what you put on social media. You don't know who's watching. The kid's talking about trading in Keisha, his Volkswagen Passat. Had to take another sip. And that wasn't coffee. A little bit of the Powerade. He's talking about turning in Keisha for something younger, sexier, probably still black. I mean that in the color of the car, although that is where he got the name from. He apparently resonates, as he says, with and relates to the black community. Okay, great. Great. I don't care. You're still my son. I love you. But that is where Keisha, the name of his Passat, came from. And he wants to trade her in, like so many husbands after a certain period of time. But what he doesn't understand, and really Bidenomics has something to do with this, is just a clickbait, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. But it is relevant to all of us old people that are constantly bitching that these young kids today don't know what they're talking about, or don't know this, or don't know that, or whatever. So he wants to trade the car in. Okay. But he goes and posts on social media about trading the car in. Okay. Never talked to dad about trading the car in. The car on which dad co signed for. Therefore, the car on which dad also has to improve the trade in. But what he thinks is going to happen is that he goes to any old car dealer. He's probably going to go back to the one we got it from, a place called Golden Oldies. Maybe the name could do better, or is doing just fine and should be telling us something. Let's go back to Golden Oldies because he's since learned that his girlfriend's dad has somebody related to the owner, or the owner is his girlfriend's dad's cousin or something like that. He's got a connection to the owner of the company, which I guess means he's going to get a car for free. I don't know what that means. Friends are friends, family's family, business is business. Politics is a major league sport, a contact sport, no less. So he wants to trade the car in. He thinks it's just going to be a, here's my car, you give me a better one. I promise I'll pay for it just like I did until I decide to trade it in again. He has no concept of what the term upside down means. I know as a fact, because he told me and we discussed this, and I know what's going to happen as a result. I know as a fact his car is upside down. That we owe more than what it's worth. He just got money from his FEMA settlement. Nice amount for a kid in his soon to be 20s, living at home, not really looking to replace all that much in the first place. And he also got a refund, which is, and now that I think about it, I remember the same method. I would get money back from Penn State. I would get all these grants, and then I would get student loans. And if I actually put any money into it as well, so be it. But I never had to because I knew that the money going into it was more than what was needed. As such, I would get a refund for whatever Penn State didn't want. And that was living expenses, books, apartment, rent, whatever. He just got $3,100 in addition to his FEMA money. So he's not. It's not bad for those two types of maneuvers with a 19-year-old, soon to be 20-year-old young man. If a 50, soon to be 53-year-old received that kind of money, would I just go get another car because I want to trade in the one I've got? Now, my car has issues too. And the benefit is mine is paid off. The benefit is mine has 35,000 miles, not even, maybe a little more, somewhere around there. It's 5 years old. It's in 19. It's yeah 19. It's a 2018. I got it at the end of 2018 when the 2019s were already out. So I got it a deal. I think I may have told you how I paid it off accidentally, but I paid it off. The bank is off the title, free and clear, as they call it. It's mine. So you're damn right I'm going to take good care of it because I'm going to get some years out of that. It's also going to get wrapped with Mastiff Media stuff. The Mastiff Media minivan. But Zach's is not in that condition. His is also a 2018. It now has, because of his own doing, and that's what it's for, so it's not a bad thing. But it's now got close to or over 100,000 miles, and it's got his quote-unquote upgrades that may or may not be providing actual value. Now it needs a timing chain. Needs something else that's going to be pricey. And all his buddies are saying, don't do that. Trade it in, let it be somebody else's problem. Okay, sure. But because he's hearing them just say the words trade it in, and he didn't tell them that, hey, by the way, bro, I'm upside down on this. What's going to happen there? They're making it sound like, hey, everything's going to be great. You just trade it in. You're going to get a better car, and we're going to live happily ever after. No, that's not how this works. And in fact, he's got a lot more to talk about with regards to this. And I tried to explain to him that when you do that, you've got to settle the first car loan, or nobody's going to give you the second one. So I had him go on his app, and he learned how much he still owes on the car. We'll just call it a considerable amount. Remember, it's more than what the car is worth. So if instead of putting that money towards a new car, another car, not new, if the car dealer were to give him that money back and say, here's the money that we think your car's worth, which will be very little negotiating, by the way. Not that it won't happen. He said, well, can you do this? And maybe they agree to it, maybe they don't. But they're going to be driving this bus. Here's your money. Let's take your car. You got to get the title for this car and make it also like Dad's car. You got to make it also free and clear because we're going to give this car to somebody else as soon as we sell it. Well, that ain't going to happen because the money he's going to get from the car dealer is going to be less than the amount of money that he owes. So now he's got to dip into that money from FEMA and from the Pell Grant. Let's say that he does that, pays off the car loan, and now he's got a little bit of money left over. It's not going to be the $7,000 that he's got now. And maybe instead of doing that, because what's going to happen, we're going to be right back where we started. He's going to have a little bit better credit, and that he just spent the past 18 months doing very well paying his car payments. Excellent job. But now he just got rid of the car. Problems or not, he just got rid of the car. He's got maybe a couple $1,000 to put down on something else that's going to put him further in debt again. So now what? I told him, I said, try to sit on that $7,000. I'll put it in one of my CDs or something that he can't get it. Use what you need to fix it up, timing chain and whatever else. Then when that next Pell Grant is paid out in a few short months, because he doesn't have semesters, he's got trimesters. So right after the holidays, he's going to be getting another good chunk of change, whatever that amount's going to be. Maybe now trade it in. And now you've put that work into it. Now you've got a little bit more to stand on. It's not a lot. You're not going to make out bank trading in an old car with 100,000 miles. But you'll get screwed less. That's what I'm trying to teach him. That's what I'm trying to tell him. I went through, I've been screwed without lube. And it hurt. Even if you think I'm into that, I'm not into it that way. So he's going to do his homework because what do I know? Been there too. My dad's laughing because guess who I'm calling for help about this as soon as I'm off the air? I should probably do it now. I'll text him. I don't want to give my dad a blindside call right on the radio. But I'm just going to tell him that Zach needs to talk to you. He's going to say, well, I'm going to be there Friday. I'll give it to him then. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So, Zach, it's Mom's birthday, so we were going to go hang out with her in a little while. Yeah, good. Didn't really need to go to class today. Yeah, been there too. Oh, I love him. He doesn't like cops, which is of course what I used to be. So I think there's some little bit level of animosity sometimes. And he said in our phone call, he said, you're always negative. I said, no, I'm not negative. I'm realistic. I'm giving you the reality that your friends ain't giving you because they're just, oh yeah, trade up, bro. Get another set of wheels. They're not paying for it, so they don't give a shit. Sorry, FCC. No, I'm not. They don't care. They don't give a shit. I do, because it's my name on that loan with you. And it's your name on that loan. We didn't spend the past 18 months building your credit history, so you go screw it up. And I guess there's a relationship to Bidenomics to be a little less clickbait for today's show. We'll do some plugs quick before we go. Let everybody know where everybody else is. You can get all our show notes at yergs.com and www.mastiff.media and other info about the show. You can always email us news, NEWZ, at yergs.com, YERGZ.com. In 2 days, Blake will be back. Blake, the Homeless Conservative. He's the host of The Homeless Conservative. You can get his show at thehomelessconservative.com, and you can get him at Blake. He called in last week. He wasn't in with us, so I got to edit that. There we go. Matt Deemer's doing some other shows. I've been seeing him on some good stuff. He is the Democratic candidate for Congress in the 7th District of Ohio. You can get him at Matt at thedailycryptonews.net. Oh, sorry, not the. Matt at dailycryptonews.net and info at deemerforcongress.com. Deemer is Diemer for Congress.com. Marcella checks in here. She checks in for Mirror Mirror Mondays. Marcella with 2 C's and 2 L's, MARCCELLA.com. She's my co host for Psycho and the Psychic, which is back tomorrow, by the way. Our Thursday recording, our Thursday live show, is going to be Psycho and the Psychic. So it's still gonna, you're still gonna see it like up the middle on like programming on stations. We're not doing that. It's just we're gonna use this time and be live in Atlanta as Psycho and the Psychic, even though you're gonna see it under it. It's whatever. And then you can get. I don't think she's on this one. Let me change around here. I think she's here somewhere. Well, then I got one more. That's my other work wife. She's down here. I know that. There we go. We'll float this across the bottom. You get Jane Stahl at Studio BBB, 3Bs there, .org. Just go to the contact tab there on their website. That is the art gallery in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. And as always, show notes and everything else you want to know at yergs.com and www.mastiff.media. Remember, I still do the W's there because not everybody knows that .media is an extension for websites. All right, so hit me up with an email. Let me know on social media. Give me a call right now. We still got time. 1-888-88-YERGS. 1-888-88-YERGZ. Let's put that back up. My dad didn't reply, so. Yeah, still another from Dad, so I don't know what he's doing, but mentioned me in comments an hour ago. Oh, yeah, I'm aware. I had commented, what was the post? My buddy Anthony from Momentum Fitness. I told you about his podcast. I got to tell him. You know, I told you about his podcast. There he is. I told you about his podcast, and one of the things they do is talk about fitness and nutrition. And he just did a post on Fab. I'll put the link in the chat, and also put it in the show notes. I'll put it in the show notes too. What the hell? Just somebody else passed away. Oh, Let's click here. Find him here. There we go. Anthony Gilio. His post was, let's think about what we feed our kids and ourselves. Tune in today at noon and learn about health. So you just, I guess it's going to be on his Facebook. Anthony Gilio. Let's put a link to his Facebook in the chat, and so you get it more quickly. But also, um, I'll put it in the. So there we go. That's his Facebook account, and that's where you can get his show later today, in about 1 minute. So yeah, 99.1 WDJY. We're going to lose you in a second. We'll see you again tomorrow for Psycho and the Psychic. Mars will be back from our summer vacation, and we will see you all then. But yeah, he did a thing where it tells you what is comprised of chicken nuggets. And somebody else tried to write back and said, "Oh, that was debunked. That's not true. This, that, and the other thing." And he's like, "Dude, let's get this straight. There's nothing good for you at McDonald's." And I think once you get past that part, you know that anything you're getting from McDonald's is very temporary and should not be on a long term basis. Um, but I then sent a photo. Let's see if we can share screens here. Um, yeah, here we go. I then sent this photo. Why does it always go to that one? There we are. I sent this photo. Um, there's me, and there's the photo I sent. Hopefully that expands. There we go. Yeah, that's the photo. Work release programs provide felons with valuable job experience. And my comment was, and also think about who feeds us and our kids. Because as you may or may not know, the orange one, honestly, the first thing I thought about he was talking about here was when these look kind of orange by comparison to the golden brown, almost like they're from like the what is the orange chicken, that type of Thai or Chinese. And I thought it was a Trump joke right out of the bat, but no, he's actually doing a fitness and wellness post here, telling you that chicken nuggets contain dimethyl polysiloxane, a silicone-based product used in cosmetics, shampoo, and silly putty. Yum. So my smart-ass comment was, and also think about who feeds us and our kids. That was in reply to Mrs. Harris saying she worked this horrible job at McDonald's. Just another PR stunt. Yeah, 100% just another PR stunt. And apparently, yeah, I saw this too. He used a drill to fix the ice cream machine or something. I don't know. I don't get it. I still don't see the appeal. So anyway, that's it, gang. That's everything. Um, Here it is. Andrew Kasuda says that McDonald's chicken nuggets are made by Tyson Chicken. It's not the pink paste that people like to post on social media as a scare tactic because they hate the company. I don't hate the company. It's like Spike Lee when he went to Penn State, visited Penn State back when I was at Penn State, mid 90s, right? There was this thing about McDonald's supposedly being racist and discriminatory towards the black community, or that they preyed on the black community by being in a black neighborhood, selling them crappy food, etc. It's like Spike Lee said, don't boycott McDonald's because they're racist. Boycott McDonald's because their food sucks. Yeah, that's it. There's no hate. There's common sense. Yeah, but post on social media because they hate the company. There's a full episode on the show how it's made going through the process. What show? There's a full episode on the show how it's made going through the process. So Anthony replies back, and this is I love this. I didn't make it past the second sentence, and I'm like. Just so we're definitely on the same page. There is nothing at McDonald's that is healthy. Yeah, hello. That one thing should be a period there. I'm a punctuation bitch. I am. Not one thing. They actually were sued by a doctor, but the doctor was told to shut up and gave her hush money. But it was and is out there for people to watch. They added apples, healthier sides to get away with being a fast food restaurant in America. They had no nutrition at all. There is no nutritional value at McDonald's. I don't care what they put out and how it's made. It's all processed garbage. So, Andrew Kasuta's pushing back. Look at you. Okay. I like this. We got a fight going. I wish I had like that bell thing. What do I have? What sound effects do I have?
Wake up, goddammit!
Yeah, we got Petey Green. We got Petey Green. Okay, so spreading misinformation doesn't help anyone. What's Barack Obama have to say about that?
First of all, what? What?
A quick Google search to fact check this post, and the stuff listed in the meme doesn't exist in the chicken nuggets, is all I'm saying. I love how people type for themselves. Nobody types for the people or person that they're talking to. We don't know what you're saying. Ingredients: either chicken breast meat, 45%, water, vegetable oils, wheat flour, iron, niacin, thiamine, starches, wheat, salmonella. Isn't that what's going on? E. coli or salmonella or something? Breadcrumbs that contain wheat, natural flavorings. That's not even spelled in English. That's not the English spelling. Contains celery, potassium chloride, dried glucose syrup, wheat gluten, salt, raising agents, sodium carbonates, pepper, celery. We mentioned that already. I don't know why we got to mention it again. It's probably bad. Dextrose. May contain traces of milk and mustard or chicken breast meat with more different things. And of course, you can't scroll down because this is somebody else's screen share. I will research the chicken nugget a little more, as Google likes to hide things as well. We will post a video today of the doctor that brought them to court. Good. She explains everything at McDonald's. At the time, did not have not one nutritional thing at the restaurant. I remember that. They brought all these salads in. Like, don't you already have salad? I guess what you're telling us, the salad you've got already ain't any good. Fast food is killing America one processed food at a time. They can get away with hiding ingredients and not telling us about the cancerous foods they put out. Oh, what does Anthony have to say about this? Let's hear. I feel like the food in the U.S. is killing us in general. Our food department is terrible. So many thing and so many thing. Don't you reread this before you click send? Our fruit department is terrible. So many things in the US are already banned in the European Union. I just like to point out the misleading posts when I see them. You don't know that this is misleading. Like I remember a post about naked juice that likes to resurface from time to time. The post claims the company got sued because they had formaldehyde in the drink. It was completely made up. They did get sued, but it was over branding. The bottle said all natural, but they also had added vitamins. So they got sued and had to take the all natural off the bottle. It was just one example of things you see all the time on social media. Okay, yeah, I get it. And I told my son this earlier. I spent 21 years in the banking industry as a fraud investigator for the largest economy in history. So when I tell him that he's going to have to pay off the first car loan before he gets a second one, I think I know what I'm talking about. But no, he needs to go do his own research, which I'm glad for. And that's what I tell all of you. I told him, I said, I wish my listeners did that. I'd be able to talk about something intelligent. Oh, I'm running over. Look at this. But instead, they rely on me and they rely on, well, I saw it on Facebook. My mom. Well, I saw on the internet. Well, that makes it accurate because you found it on the internet and it suits and supports your argument. Now it's even more accurate. So, anyway, and I get what this Andrew dude is saying. You know, just because you find a meme, and I'm seeing this daily, multiple times a day, actually, with politics. Kamala's bad. Donald's bad. Well, and what sucks is that that part's actually true on some level, on many levels. So we kind of assume, okay, you know what? I'm probably going to win with this one. I'll just forward it. Throw some effort into your fact checking. Throw some effort out there and put it in. Like this guy, kudos to this Andrew dude for this. He put in what he found. So when Anthony chews him up and spits him out and says, okay, but that's not everything. That's what the FDA says they have to put in. There's a lot of things that are not included. Why? I have no idea. So now I'm looking at Andrew Kasuda, and I am thinking, Andy Boy has had his share of McDonald's. The Losers Club. Okay. Anyway. He's updated his profile picture. I guess it's hockey season. So that's it, gang. Thanks for Andy and Anthony slugging it out for us here. But check out Anthony's going to be doing it right now. He's probably 10 minutes. He's probably late. I know him. He's probably late. But his podcast is being recorded at the gym right now. And yeah, I'm anxious to start putting it on Yerg's radio. All right, everybody. I will be back tomorrow with Mars and Friday with the guys for back to Up the Middle. But the Friday edition that has the whole crew. You've been Up the Middle and been running with the big dogs. We'll see you again tomorrow. I think. There we go.